Welcome to living-technologies.info. My name is Sonia, and today we are going to speak about bronchial infections, sinus infections, throat infections, anything that has to do with the breathing apparatus from the sinuses all the way down to the lungs. And I am going to suggest and give you my remedy on how to resolve getting rid of a very severe bronchial infection that I had for about 10 days, which could have lasted 6 to 8 weeks, in a very simplified way with this video. So welcome to the video and enjoy the show. Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of getting rid of upper respiratory conditions, and they vary anywhere from sinus infections to throat and nose infections, whether it be tonsillitis or whether you have some kind of a problem with respiratory infection or a strep throat, anything like that, right? Any kind of problems that are go from the sinuses all the way down into the lung area. So here is my remedy, which is completely natural. And today I was asked by one of our customers to please post a video on how I do this to take care of any kind of viral or bacterial sinus infections or throat infections or lung infections. So here's my formula. I use eucalyptus oil. As you can see, this is from Vitacost. They don't have very good essential oils, but they're decent. So that's what I have left of this product, which I'll be using. And then peppermint oil as well, and that's also from Vitacost. And this product actually we sell on our website, and this is Optimally Organics, and this is a red pine needle oil that is amazing, by the way. It's organic and it's amazing. And the last ingredient is TeaTree oil. If you want therapeutic TeaTree oil, you can get this on Amazon. So these are the 4 products that I actually, I'm going to see if I can grab the video camera so that you can see them. Okay, so there they are in alignment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what I do with these 4 products is I actually put them into this bottle. I put 4 equal parts of this product, and I should actually probably put these right here so you could see them. So I'm going to put the eucalyptus oil. You probably won't be able to see them. The tea tree oil, the peppermint oil, and I'll explain what each of these do. And the red pine needle oil. All these oils that we have here open up the lungs, open up the nasal passage, the sinuses, and actually soothe the throat. These are the 4 essential oils, and I put 1/4 of each of these oils into this bottle that has, as you can see, it has that point right there, which actually helps it to just drop. So I'm going to drop it into, and you can see how very slowly it drops, like one little drop. You want to be able to measure it. So you want a bottle like this that actually has this top on it. I forgot the name of it. What I use is I pour 4 to 8 or maybe 8 drops maximum into this product. Okay, my Vicks Personal Inhaler, and it's actually a steamer. And what I do is I fill it up with water, which I'm not going to do right now. I have it turned on so it starts to actually heat up. The heating element heats up the water. And I put the oil in here with the water. That's the first thing I do. You only have to use like 1 ounce. It's a very small cavity. It's just so that you can actually inhale it. So I let the water boil first. Once the water is boiling and the steam's coming out, you could either, as you could see, you can either put it through one of those holes, or I just remove the whole thing, put the 8 drops in there, and then this is really great, because this you put in your mouth, okay, and over your nose, as you can see, it fits beautifully, And this regulates the amount of steam that you allow into your nose and your sinuses, your throat, and your lungs. So these 4 essential oils will help in terms of being able to breathe again. Okay, if your sinuses are really congested, your throat hurts, it'll soothe the throat. And if you have a congestion in your lungs, or if you have a bacterial or viral infection in your lungs, it'll actually open up the lungs, alveoli in the lungs, and it will allow you to then do the following. So this is what I do. So I have these 4 essential oils right in here, and what I do is I breathe them in and out, and I try and alternate. First nasal, that goes into the sinuses, then up into the throat, and I will cough. You know, especially if you're sick, you will cough. And then I go nasal, throat, nasal, throat. So I inhale it through my nose, inhale it through my mouth, into the lungs. And I do that about 8 or 10 times. And you can actually, like I said, you can regulate. This is the great thing about this device, is that you can actually regulate the amount of, I'm going to try and, so that's as close as it's going to get. Okay. And so I put that in there. You have to put this right there, you can see, because that way you can move this, close it or open it or close this part. So it has to fit in that right in here, in this fitting right there, so that you can open and close. These are very important because that's how you regulate the amount of steam that comes into your mouth, okay, or through your nose. So it's very important. So what I make sure of is that I have it semi-closed. All right, so this is very extremely open, and that would be really intense. I usually have it like that, so you could see it. It's barely open, or, you know, I open it a little bit more, but that's about it. And like I said, this fits right in here, and that way I can regulate the amount of steam, right, that comes in, and then I put it on here. I'm not going to have this steaming, and I regulate the amount of steam with these 2 levers. And what I do is I put it up into my, you have boiling water in here, so you got to be careful not to tilt it because you're going to get it on your body. I've done that. It's kind of, you got to be careful. So you want to make sure that what you're doing is you're tilting your head down into it and breathing in the oils, the essential oils that we're putting in here. When they steam up in the vapor that's hot, they're called terpenes. And the terpenes are actually the essential part of the oil that you really want to have it reach your sinus cavity, your throat, or your lung cavity, because that'll start to really open up. And you'll notice that immediately if you're super congested. Some people are very, very congested, right? And they have a very dry cough, but they have a lot of phlegm. You know, I had the opposite this time. I had very productive, which means I was constantly hacked, and it wouldn't stop. And I didn't want it to stop. Now, I want to explain this. You do not want to stop the production of phlegm, okay? I know it's very uncomfortable at night because some people are coughing and hacking, and they can't sleep. This is why I'm suggesting to do this instead. If you do NyQuil or you do one of those other products, you are going to congest yourself even worse. They're a cough suppressant instead of an expectorant. That's the word. So you want to expectorate as much as possible, because what your lungs, your nasal cavity is trying to do, or your throat, is trying to get rid of this virus or bacteria that is causing the irritation. So you want to use this instead, my suggestion. And what I do is I do this in the morning and at night. So when I first wake up in the morning and I'm all congested and all yucked out, I will breathe this in, like I say, 8 to 10 times. First with this oil, right? I do that 8 to 10 times. And then now my lungs are open. Now my nasal passages are open. My sinuses are open. And now I can use this amazing oil that I found on Amazon that is called, it's an oregano oil. And this oregano oil, though, is like wild oregano oil, which is even better than organic. It's organic wild oregano oil. And it is a therapeutic oregano oil, so it's extremely potent. So here's what I do. So I've done 10 of these, right, through my vaporizer, my personal vaporizer. Now I'm ready to throw in 2 drops, or maybe 1 to start off. When I first did this, I just did 1 drop that I put in here, and it still has a little bit of the other oils. But this oil, I'm telling you, is going to kill whatever virus or bacteria that you have in your sinuses, in your throat, or in your lungs. This is going to kill it. Guarantee you. That was my experience. I'm just giving you my experience. And like I said, I'm not the manufacturer. I'm not a distributor for this product. I'm just trying to advise people on what to do if you have this really bad bronchitis that I had for 10 days. Most people that I talk to end up with this bronchitis for 6 to 8 weeks. Some of them 12 weeks. This is the way to get rid of the bronchitis super fast. Within 48 hours, my cough stopped, my expectoration stopped, and I felt better, and my nasal passages opened, and there was no more of that virus that was in my lungs. Okay, I had a virus, and many other people have that. And if you take antibiotics, antibiotics don't kill viruses. They don't even get rid of bacteria sometimes. So this oregano oil is a 100% natural, completely natural antibiotic, antiviral, and actually also antifungal. It's amazing. It's like a lifesaver. So what I did is I put, I think, 2 drops initially into my, not a humidifier, this is a steamer, okay, my personal steamer, and I breathed in through my nose, and it burns. It burns and burns, and you just got to put up with it, and you just breathe it in gently. That's why you have to have this almost closed, so there's very little steam coming up with it, and you breathe it in through your nose, up into your sinuses, and you actually then and you alternate. And you will cough. I guarantee you will cough. You'll feel like you're coughing your guts out sometimes. But you got to keep at it. So you just cough and you put this back on and you keep breathing in the terpenes. Okay, the oregano terpenes is the key. Breathe it into your nasal passages, into your sinuses, into your throat. If you have strep throat, or if you have any kind of like inflammation of your glands or throat, where or sore throat, you want to do the oregano. And you want to do the other oils first and then this, because this is going to kill whatever is affecting you. Then what you do is you breathe it into your lungs, right? I had bronchitis, kind of verging, not quite, kind of verging on pneumonia, but not quite. When I have pneumonia, I know, because it sounds like I have liquid in my lungs when I cough. That wasn't the case, but it was a pretty bad bronchitis. And so what I did is I breathe it in deep, cough, 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 breathe another one, as many as you can. If you can breathe in 10 of these with the terpenes and sometimes what I would do is, I coughed so bad and I had to take a break that the oil kind of evaporated. So I put another drop and I breathed it in, did it 8 or 10 times, and like I said, twice a day. And this pretty much, when I did it with the Vicks steamer, personal steamer, this is actually if you have anything in your lungs, it will definitely kill it. It's the only thing actually that will kill it. Because what you're doing is you're bringing the essential therapeutic oil of oregano, and you're actually transmuting it, you're alchemizing it into the terpenes, which is the essence of the actual plant, the medicinal plant, and it's very potent, and it goes into the alveoli, it goes into the bronchioles, and it actually goes deep in there. It goes, I could feel it go from my throat, because you could feel it burning, all the way down to the bottom of my lungs. So I would take really, really deep breaths, like yogic breaths, and then breathe out and cough. But this is what got rid of my bronchitis. Viral infection is what I had. And it did it I'm telling you, within 48 hours, I started getting all better. I'd say 48 hours happened, and then right after that, it was half a day of coughing and hacking, and the night was a little bit, I had a little bit of that, and it got less every day, and I continued. What I ended up doing is I continued to do the 4 essential oils, right, in my vaporizer, and the oregano oil till the coughing and the hacking and the nasal congestion was completely gone. So I just kept doing that. I actually did it for about 4 to 5 days, and now I'm completely better. It's completely gone. So this is my suggestion, to do a completely natural. I do natural things. I have a supplement company where we sell a lot of these products. All these products that I just mentioned, we don't sell, except for the pine needle oil is the only one that we sell on our website. This is a red pine needle oil that is super high quality. And the red pine needle oil also is an antiviral, antibacterial. So, so you're adding all these different essential oils that cause an amazing process for you to be able to recuperate very quickly from bacterial viral infections. And on Living Technologies website, I will post the instructions, step-by-step instructions, as a PDF that you can download. So you could use this at home and you can buy the products, because the PDF has the links to buy all these products. Actually, what I've opted to do, because this is such a phenomenal company that makes it's called Upnature, the oil of oregano. And this is another company that has this amazing TeaTree therapeutic grade, very high grade. And so I'm going to give you the link. There are other vaporizers that you can purchase about the same price as this one, maybe a little bit less. I'm waiting for mine to arrive, my new one, because this broke. So I have to get a new one. But I've had this now for 3 years. I've used it for 3 years, which is pretty, and I can still use it. It's just that it doesn't lock in anymore. The reason why you want to use a hot vaporizer, and that's why this one's so nice, because you don't have to have it wide open. You can close it so that you can handle the heat and is because it turns the oils into terpenes, and that's what you want. And that will get right into your alveoli, right into your bronchioles. It'll relax them, it'll open them. These are the oils that open the alveoli and the bronchi in the lung area. Peppermint. It's also an antibacterial. Eucalyptus oil. Of course, pine needle oil. Pine is amazing. It actually is an expectorant, and it opens up. These 3 oils open up. TeaTree oil also opens up the lungs. That's why I use it. And I also use it because I have a sensitivity to mold. And if I have mold spores that I breathed in, this will kill it. It'll get rid of the mold spores. They're gone. So sometimes people have asthma attacks because they end up with mold spores, and you're very ultra sensitive to molds. Especially if you go visit somebody and they had a flood in their house and things got wet and they weren't able to really totally fix that and rebuild, you're going to end up with a problem, and you're probably going to have an asthma attack, or you're going to have some kind of, I can tell immediately. I walk into somebody's house, and if they haven't renovated properly, there's still mold. I can totally smell it. I can feel it. I get sick so quickly because I have a high sensitivity to mold. And so what I do is, if that's the case, I am going to use this therapeutic TeaTree oil and put 8 drops in my vaporizer as soon as I get home, and vaporize that into my lungs, because the spores got in my lungs, you see, or maybe they're down in my throat and something's tickling, and that's what happens. I get itchy tickles, and then I get this feeling in my lungs, like a pain and a tightness, because my lungs don't want those spores, so they start to they start to try and shut down. So what you want to do is you want to do 8 drops of this. If you have mold spores that you're dealing with, breathe it in, get it out. And then you can also use this to open it up, because this is part of the TeaTree is part of it. So that is my suggestion for what to do if you have upper respiratory infections or sinus infections or throat issues, throat infections, whether viral or That's the beautiful thing about these essential oils, is if it's viral or it's bacterial, it's still going to get rid of all of them. And the other thing, obviously, asthma attacks and mold. If you have sensitivities to mold and you have an allergic reaction like I do, it almost feels like an asthma attack. And so what I do is I do my beautiful TeaTree oil that you can buy on Amazon. And I do my 4 oils as well to open up the lungs and open up my sinuses. And it stops the process. It stops the allergic reaction process, and it gets rid of the spores. And all of a sudden I can breathe again, and I don't have that anxiety that you get when you feel like you can't breathe. So with this, I'm going to close this video, and I'll be back with another instructional video. If you're having or suffering a lot of sinus infections, I am going to talk about that next in our next educational video. Thank you for watching. Welcome to Living Technologies, and we look forward to seeing you on our website and seeing you purchase our beautiful essential products. Have a great night.